Welcome back, guys. So in the previous lesson, we kind of worked on creating these logo stamps in there where it needs to be. So we're gonna move on and then create some other detailing for it. So most especially the detailing on the front parts. So let's get to it. So to do this, I'll need to go to that texture set. I'll create a new fill layer. For this fill layer, I think I'm just going to set this to red for now. Right? I'll add black marks in there. I'll also increase the depth of the height information, which is fine. Then this time around, I'm going to be using the pen tool. This is the pen tool instead of substance painter or pen paints along paths, whichever one is called. So open this up. I think we have some options in there. So for this one, we need to kind of create few parts. So let's create few parts for this. I think we're also working symmetrically, which is precisely what we want. Let's look at our reference and get a good idea how we should paint this. So I'll go over. Let me do this again. Let me go over all the way. I think the first one I painted is not looking good enough. Let's do this again. All the way down here. Or better still, we can create points that should help with proper shaping in there. Let's create points that help with proper shaping so we can quite easily modify them however we want. Okay. So I also need to kind of figure out how it looks on the side. Let's look for a side view and see how far out we need to push this. I think all the way here should be fine. So let's go back roughly to the starting points. I think for this one, we need to go a little bit further. Need to go a little bit further down. Okay. So we should be able to adjust the points now. We just need to adjust the points and try as much as possible to make it look good. Right. We're still going to add another one at the top. So let's make sure we get this down a bit more to create some spacing for the new one we're going to create at the top. All right. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, we have the depth in there. If we turn off the color now, we can go in. I believe we can add bevel in here now. That's way too extreme. Let's soften it out. I think our depth is way too strong. No, we want something pushing in instead. I think this might be way too thick. I think we have this way too thick. Let's go in and continue to modify the points some more. So I'm just going to move them up. So just a matter of adjusting them until it feels right. So I'm going to make it quite slim. Okay. Because we can work in a non-destructive fashion in here until we get something that is actually good enough for us to work with. Let's go and turn on bevel again, turn off the color once more. I need a good angle to kind of see if I'm pushing this in way too much. Then I need to. I think the bevel setting we're using in here might be, yes, I think this is roughly around the amount we need for it. Just find a good blend. Okay. Let's spread this out a little bit more. Fantastic. I think this will work just fine. Yeah, this will work just fine. So I'm going to create a new one. This one is going to be shorter actually. So let's create a new one. I'll just name this to fill parts bottom. Okay. And I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to add a black mask. So let's create a new part in here. But this one is going to be quite smaller than the other one. Okay. So the idea is to create something quite small. Okay, we'll close it up. Then we need to make adjustments to this. All right. Then I'll just go and then copy that bevel and paste the bevel in here. So that have like similar effect, and then we'll just go in and then reduce the distance a little bit more. Okay, you can take down the smooth, create something a bit sharper in there. All right. I think this should be fine. I think I went too far on this end. I'll push it closer. Closer this way. Back to the bevel. Trying to find the right amount. All right. I think that should be fine. Yeah, this will work just fine for what we need it for. I think I need to go back in here. I need to adjust this a little. Okay, so we kind of have this working symmetrically also too. I'll save this. So that's like pretty much how we kind of add some detail with the fill parts inside of, let me go back in there, inside of Substance Painter using the fill parts tool. But we can still always go back in and adjust it however we want by shrinking some things in some more as needed. Okay, yeah, fantastic. This will work just fine. So in next lesson, we just go in and then use the same part to and create some details for the under parts. We can see some of these edged details in here we have in there. So we're just going to kind of create that. We're going to create that in the next lesson. So I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Bye for now.